Hello everybody, I am coming in to talk a little bit about the Akashic Records and what I've learned over the years, and then some new information that has come into my existence. The Akashic Records, if you haven't ever been here before, my name is SerenaAurora. Welcome to my little corner of the universe. I talk about a lot of spiritual things on this channel. I do tarot readings on this channel, and I also do them in my personal life. So I have a business, and you can find me on all of the socials that I list below. All of my information is going to be below. So again, Akashic Records. So Akashic Records is a spiritual space. It is known as the library. The Book of Life is something that you can look into to gain knowledge about someone's life, your life, past lives, everything that has ever existed in each and everybody's lives for the span of their existence in this life, past lives, and all of the lives before that are in a book of your life. And that's why it's called a Book of Life, is because each and every person has one. The thing that I've learned about the Akashic Records is that it comes at a price, and it can be a bit of a scary one. I know that I hear a lot of newbies in any of the jobs that I had in metaphysical stores talking about wanting to access these places, wanting to astral all the time, all of this lucid dreaming stuff. They've really wanted to have some psychedelic, intense experience to help them feel connected. And the Akashic Records is one of those. But I am here to tell you that the energy, the energy plane that exists in these places cannot, our bodies cannot handle that. So whatever happens in the spiritual realm trickles down into our body and usually manifests as something, a disturbance within our body, an illness, a sickness, something to purge something that's happening in the spiritual. So quite literally, our spiritual lives are far more impacting than the lives that we're actually living here on earth. So from what I have recently gained knowledge on is that the Akashic, like I said, you cannot access these things without a sacrifice, and the sacrifice has to do with your health. I pull psychic information down all the time, and I do have pain in my body. I actually have a pain in my neck that happens quite frequently throughout the day, and it is from accessing realms that are too high for my mortal body to be able to handle. So the way that it manifests is, a severe pain that causes migraines, sometimes just spasms and headaches. It doesn't always begin to be a migraine. I couldn't figure out where this was coming from. Been to the doctors, been to the chiropractor, been to massage therapists, been to physical therapy, had MRIs and all of these scans, and had cortisol shots and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not asking for anyone's opinion on my neck or whatever, but I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And I realized that because I've touched things in the spiritual realm so much that it has manifested in my body. And the one example that I just want to use me as an example, and then I'll use a couple people. Any ties that I have broken within my life that have been really impactful in my past lives and this life have manifested through this life. I have past lives where I've had a lot of kidney problems that has came into this life. And I have had several issues with my kidneys, and including passing kidney stones. And those kidney stones were the passing of contracts in the spiritual realm. So again, it always comes as a sacrifice. So when we do get sick and we do have pain, it is something from there, but it is a opportunity to purge something, always to elevate in our systems, to transmute. The thing about the Akasha is that the Akasha does not discriminate. And what I mean by that is anyone's allowed in the library if you can handle the energy. Anyone. Now that even means demonic spirits. So since they don't discriminate and everyone has access to this knowledge, you need to be very careful when accessing these things so that you don't bring something back that torments your life, that torments anyone else in your household's life, or in your life in general. There are things that we just can't understand in our mortal existence, in this avatar, in this meat suit. It's just, we just don't live it and breathe it, so we can't really experience it down here. Again, be very careful when you are just astraling out in the fucking unknown. Things can come back with you. It doesn't matter how much protection you ask for. There are things that can come in and, a sheep and, a wolf in sheep's clothing. There are things that can pretend to be angels and to be guides and to be friendly beings that want to help you. But on the other hand, there are hierarchies of angels and beings that and even demons and things that we do not have very much knowledge on. We want to, and I'm sure there are people out there that can access some of this, but there are trillions of angels and entities out there that we have not even been able to put a label on to completely understand, again, because we can't conceive of these things in our human bodies. If you do access the Akasha, which again, at your own risk, do these things. I'm not by any means saying that it would be okay, but when you do, there are books that teach you about people's lives, and there are books that can teach you about severity and death and pain and serenity and tranquility. There are books that you've had that have your name in them, and they help you access knowledge on how to heal somebody or what is causing pain in someone's life. It has everything: your love, your children, man, female lives, everything. When you do access them, again, it comes at a price. I do have someone in my life that I do know that it was her purpose to be this plugged in to the Akasha, but again, she does have a lot of she has lupus because of it. It's a trade-off. She has told me beautiful stories about how being in the Akasha it gave her a fever, inflammation in the brain, and she did go into psychosis, which is totally a thing if you reach higher dimensions that are not in harmony with these bodies. So I want you guys to be very careful when you do these things. Pull down what you can and try to allow the other things to just allow to let go on some things. I know that there are some people that have, like myself, have an insatiable hunger to learn, but again, there's a warning with that, and that means that this comes at a sacrifice. So these books hold great knowledge and answers, and they are, guarded very heavily, and anyone can be in those places, but there is that risk, so be careful. The Akasha I have had readings from other Akashic record readers who I don't think access as heavily as the one friend I was speaking of, and they seem to be fine. They don't have any illnesses. So I know there is the possibility to pull down psychic things and not have, a lupus or cancer or any of these things, but our bodies just can't handle that. So be very careful when you are doing things like that. There are many ways to get rid of entities. Now, I know that our favorite way is to sage and to cleanse and to purify and sigils and candle magic and all of those beautiful things. But also there are other ways to get rid of entities. But entities feed off in different ways. Sometimes we need to fast. Sometimes we need to be anointed, and sometimes it's just divinely guided to get rid of some of those things. We just don't have the capacity to do that. So again, you are not Iron Man, and going into those things you need to be cautious and figure out what you are willing to do as a human being. But again, the Akashic Records, that's what I've learned about them. A library full of books, full of knowledge on every single person's life. Every Akashic Record reader that I've been with has told me different information, which is about layers on layers, has told me about different past lives, has told me about lives that are affecting me now, but they've all done it in a different manner. Some have been more prophetic than others, and I think that the more prophetic that people can be as seers are the ones who will develop illnesses. And you'll notice that a lot of healers aren't generally the healthiest. They always have something that they're battling, whether it be pain or some disturbance within the body, not working properly or in a healthy function. So I hope that that helps you and resonates with you. I mean, it's pretty simple, but that is what I know about the Akashic Records. I hope that you guys take heed off of that, and I will see you soon.